So today we're continuing the notes on 1-2, the notes on segments. Okay, so you can just continue right wherever you left off yesterday. This problem can go right on below it. So go ahead and copy this down. You could also start by drawing this picture. It's a segment, but then there's some specific things that are going on with that segment. So get that done, write down the problem and draw the picture. Okay, so our example now is a little different than the ones that we were doing yesterday. But it says that B is the midpoint of segment AC. And AB, segment AB is 5x, segment BC is 3x plus 4, and then it wants us to find a whole bunch of lengths of segments. So here where it says B is the midpoint, can somebody remind me, what does midpoint mean? I think the ones we were doing yesterday always just said that like B was between A and C. But there's something very specific happening if we say that B is the midpoint. It's in a very specific location. What? Right in the middle. Right smack in between A and C. So if I put A and C at the endpoints, B is right in the middle. And we can even put some little hash marks in the picture just to show us that that B is exactly in the middle. So here it says that AB is 5x. So I'll put that right there. That means from A to B it's 5x. And from B to C it's 3x plus 4. So we want to start with a statement. Yesterday we were using that segment addition postulate where we would say the two small segments equal the large segment. Well, that's not exactly going to help us now. What helps us here is that definition of the midpoint, saying that these two small segments are equal to each other. So the statement that we need to start with here is AB equals BC. And we know that because B is the midpoint. We know those two segments are exactly the same in length. Now we have the beginning of an equation that we can solve. So we're just going to take the expressions that we know that each of those is equal to and substitute it in. So AB, they told us was 5x. BC is 3x plus 4. Now you need to solve it. So go ahead and solve that one. Solve it for x. Let's start solving it. So subtract 3x from both sides. So I'm going to get 2x equals 4. Then divide both sides by 2. So I'm going to have x equals 2. But now I need to take that and plug it back in for these values. So AB, we know, was 5x. So I'm going to plug the 2 in place of the x, which means AB has a length of 10. Now let's do the same for BC. It's 3x plus 4. So let's go ahead and do 3 times 2 plus 4. What do you get there? 10. We better get 10, huh? Because these two segments are supposed to be equal, so I better be getting the same values there. And then what is the length of AC? So that's the whole segment. If AB is 10 and BC is 10, what's the length of AC? 20. 10 plus 10 is 20. So this one says that S is the midpoint of RT. It gives us a value for S, a value for ST, and wants us to find all three of those segments. So go ahead and write this down, and then draw your picture and set up your equation. What we know here is that S is our midpoint, right? So we know that RS, segment RS, is equal in length to segment ST. Because we are told that S was the midpoint that breaks that segment into two congruent segments. So in place of RS, put negative 2x. In place of ST, put negative 3x minus 2. Let's solve this. Add 3 to both sides. Actually 3x, right? So this is going to be x equals negative 2. So let's find all these pieces. RS was negative 2x. Plug in. So it equals 4. And then ST equals negative 3 times negative 2 minus 2. So what is that? 6. Positive 6 minus 2, which is 4. So RS equals 4 and ST equals 4. That's good news because they should come out to be the same exact number, right? What I don't want you guys doing is just figuring out the first one and then saying, oh, well, I know the next one's the same thing. Yeah, you know it's the same, but plug the numbers in because that makes sure that that x that you solved for correctly. Because if these did not come out to be the same number, that would tell you go back to your x and solve for that again because you may have made a mistake. And then the whole segment is 4 plus 4 or 8. Okay, any questions there?